everybody. How are you doing today? I'm so glad that you can join us here on Amy's Inspiration Station on the Altenew YouTube and Facebook channels. And Sadie is here as well, looking for some pets. Do you have a fur friend with you today as well? So that is, she's very excited to be crafting along with us today. And I hope you are doing so well. Let me know where you are coming from. And I see, oh my gosh, Marilyn, hello from Central Mississippi. And Roberta, I see that. And I saw Nancy as well. Hello, everybody. And Sally. Hello, Carrie. Oh, my gosh. It's so great. And I see Donna as well. And oh, my gosh. And Laura from Central Texas. And hi, Joy. I am so glad you are doing well. May calendar events be posted. We will know. I'm curious who is behind the badge today. So they're going to let us know in just a minute. And please share this live while we're live. And you'll be entered to win a gift card from Altenew. And Laura has 4 of them. Laura, are they cats? Are they all cats? Am I blurry again? Oh my gosh, I hope not. I think it's all Sadie, right? I will take a look and I'll see how I'm doing. And hello, Paula from Barbados and rainy Vermont. Oh no, Jacqueline, that's terrible. And you also, Sally, has 4 furry friends in Fallon, Nevada. Hello, everybody. Hey, Sue. Hey, the rain stopped, Sue, huh? That's pretty nice. Let me know how you're doing today. And hello, Angelique. It's so nice to see you. And I see hello from Michigan. And it's Han. Hello, Han. I'm so glad that you were here. Let Han and I know where you're joining us from. We'd love to know that. And Laura's got 4 cats and a dog. That's 5 fur friends, Laura. That is a lot. And I know that they all probably love to help you. And Tony, hello from warm Salem, Oregon. And Cece, hello. All right. That's great, Judy. I'm glad. And all right. I'm so excited you guys are here. I know, thank goodness. Sue, the rain has stopped. I was like, thank goodness. Ugh. So I have something, I guess it is fitting in with the rain today. Sue will let me know. And I have to say, it's called Moody Blooms. So I'm doing Moody Blooms today. So I have this wonderful set, or I'm playing with this wonderful set today called Leaning Lily. And this is part of the Build-A-Garden set. And it is this really gorgeous, just single lily bloom with some little buds coming in. And I have to say this is a little bit big. It's not as big as last week's, but it's kind of big. So I'm making a 5x7 card today, but it's going to be great. And I'm doing everything on black cardstock. So I thought that'd be cool. So if you have someone who'd be interested in learning about Build-A-Garden, some Altenew stuff, please share this live while we're live, and you will be entered to win a gift card from Altenew. Oh my gosh, Nicole, yours comes today. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to switch over to my down camera, and you guys let me know if it's still a little bit blurry, and we'll see how we go. All right, so let me switch on over. I'm really excited, and when you come on in, you're going to see all of these pieces of the Leaning Lily Build-A-Garden set, which should be coming in for you. All right, so let me go ahead and switch on over to my other camera. Han, I hope you are doing well today. I'm really excited to see you, that you are here. All right. How is that, everybody? Could you let me know, is this looking blurry for you? How are we doing there? How are we doing now? Oh my gosh. And Jacqueline, you just got yours. That is so good. I would say that the subscription is super great. And it's nice because you get these ahead of time, which is so great. And Laura, thank you so much for sharing this. I appreciate that. And Sandy, you love your Build-A-Garden. It's so nice that, you get that little blending brush with it too. So then you can still put them. All right, let me try one more thing. We're still a little blurry. Give me 1 second. And it's not higher resolution video quality. All right. And like I said, so today I'm kind of looking for Moody Blooms, and we're doing everything on black cardstock. All right, let me try one thing, and I'll see if I can get you guys a little bit better. All right, give me 1 second. Blurry for everybody. All right, hello, I'm back. It's nice to see everybody. All right, I'm going to come on in and add in my camera. Thank you, by the way, for bearing with me on all of this. And we're going to see how this goes. All right, I'd love to know, how does this look? How are we doing? And does that look a little bit better? All right. Oh my gosh, so well worth the money. I totally agree, Sandy. All right. Oh my gosh, fabulous. All right, let's see how we're doing. Okay, let me know how that looks. Does everything look nice and clean? And is all the audio coming in? All right. Oh, thank you so much, Marilyn, for sharing this. And you too can be like Marilyn, and you can be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. I'm so glad, Selena, that's a little bit better. Great. Okay, I think we're good. Sharp. All right, good. Thanks, Angelique. Sometimes it just takes a little bit. Okay, great. Thank you, Han. All right, so this is the Leaning Lily set. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous lily. And of course, with the Build a Garden, you get this awesome stencil set. And look how gorgeous this is. And what I like about this one, hi, Cindy, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, Sue, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much, Laura. That this is, I actually like this stencil because it's a little bit of a simpler stencil set than it was last week. And so I kind of like this, but I'm also going to show you some techniques for really adding in a lot of depth to this. Oh, good. Thank you, Nancy. I know, Nancy, it's like, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Now, the stamp set with this is awesome. So you get the beautiful outline. So if you're like somebody who really to just color, watercolor, or use your markers to color or watercolor pencils, these are great sets because you also get the outline. So if you're like, I want to do something quick, I'm going to use the stencil. But if you're like, nah, I'm good, then I'm going to go ahead and I want to just use the outline. Yeah, Cindy, this is part of the Build a Garden set. And so this is for June. Now you're like, but Amy, it's April. What are you doing with this? And that's because people who have the subscription to Build a Garden will already have this in their hot little hands. But if you're like, yeah, I know, I'm not really sure if I want to do Build a Garden, this will be coming out in June. So Cindy, this will kind of go along. And I have to say, Beverly, this is a beautiful set. Roberta's already been playing with this. It's awesome. The die set that comes with it, this one will cut out the whole huge flower, and it will also cut out these three main sentiments. And I have to say that for this set, oh my gosh, Angelique, such a great set. This is really about providing that, those kind of comfort sentiments. I love this one, wishing you comfort and calm. May each day bring you new strength. I'm feeling like for somebody who's like maybe going through some treatment or whatnot, but that's really nice to do. And then there's also this, you're writing a miracle story. And I'm like, I have a friend who's going through some treatment. And I'm like, this would be really great. So this is kind of the card I wanted to make. And I'm like, this is the sentiment I want to use today. So that way I can give this to her, right? Carrie, it should be in focus. Is that looking okay? It looks okay on my end, Carrie. So let me know if anyone else is having some trouble like Carrie. I can try to back out and come back in again. Thank you so much for sharing this, Vicki. And you too can be like Vicki, and you can be entered to win a gift card for Altenew. So like I said, today, hey, Lana, like I said, for today, I am going to be doing Moody Blooms. So I wanted to use this on black cardstock. And so what I've started with already is I took the flower. So I just took the die. This is the die. And I die cut out a bunch of flowers out of black cardstock. Okay, out of black cardstock. So really blurry. All right, that is not okay. It's a little out of focus. Okay, let me see. I'm not sure how to fix this one because it is perfectly in focus on my end. Let's see what I can do if I do this. Let me see if I can back out again and I will come back on in. All right, I went back out and it's still blurry. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know. Let me fix this so before we move on. Hello, Joanne. Give me 1 second. Thank you guys for the tech kind of thing that we are working through. Okay, let's see this one. All right. Let me take this camera off. I'm going to take this camera off and I'm going to try something else, guys. And we're going to try something else coming on. All right. We're good. Don't worry. Don't worry. I promise we're coming in. Okay. This will make sense in a moment, everybody. All right. I'm going to try something else. So I think this worked last time. Okay. All right. How is that? I think so, Lana. It's kind of been a little crazy. All right, focus on my end. I can see good, better now. All right, Cindy, how's this? How's that looking now? Let me put the sentiments back in so you guys are like, can I actually see something? How does that look for everybody? Does that look okay? All right, should be nice and clear. Okay, let me know how that goes, how that is looking for you right now. All right, still blurry. Carrie, oh my gosh, Carrie. All right, let me see. All right, Carrie, let me keep going. I'm going to see if I can if it kind of fixes itself a little bit, and I'm going to try one more thing if it doesn't, okay? But I'm going to move along, but I will see. I think it might be the black paper on the black mat. Let me bear with me for just a moment. This will make sense, and we're going to get out of there. Just a second, okay? All right, so I'm bringing in my stamp wheel, and what I have here is I have the negative space from when I die cut out the flower image. This is the Leaning Lily. If you're just joining us, this is the Leaning Lily, and this is the Build a Garden for June. And what I'm going to do to make my stenciling a little bit easier, I am going to be stamping an outline on this. Okay, I'm going to be stamping an outline on this. And in order for me to do that, I am going to grab my stamp, and I'm just going to place that right into my outline. I'm just going to put that light in my outline, okay, right here. And put this on. I'm going to grab this on, and then I'm just going to stamp an outline. Now, the ink that I'm going to be using mostly today is Cloud White ink, all right? All right, there we go. So this is Cloud White ink right there. Oh, good, Roberta. I'm so glad that worked. Can you guys see Cloud White? Is that popping up? I'm wondering if it's the black on black that's kind of messing people up right now. So Cloud White, we're going to use this ink. This is a really magical looking ink because of the fact that it is a white pigment ink. It's really great. It's a wonderful one to have in your arsenal. And it is very, very white, which I love when I'm looking for white inks. So that Cloud White ink is really great. So that's the one we're going to be using today. Okay, great. Awesome. Now, so I have my stamp in here. I got my negative space. So I'm picking up this stamp on my stamp wheel, except my stamp wheel is off a little bit. Little operator area. There we go. I'm going to pick this guy on up. And now I'm going to put in my die cut. So it's going to fit right beautifully on in there. And the cardstock I'm using is a black cardstock, but it's a pretty good weight. All right. You can still see clear enough, but not sharp. All right. Let's see if that one clears up a little bit. Now I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put this on Cloud White ink. And this is just going to give me the outline. All I want is the outline, and that's just to help me to line up my stencil. Okay, love this ink. So great, but we're going to be using that Cloud White a lot today. All right, so put this on in, put my home button down on the bottom, and I'm just going to stamp this. And again, I'm just trying to get an outline on this. Just trying to get an outline. And my idea today was Moody Blooms, and that's because I am going to be ink blending on top of black cardstock. And it's going to give this really beautiful muted appearance to everything. I'm just going to do that one more time. And this white's going to go away. I don't care. You're going to see it. You're not going to see it again. I'm just literally using this as a way to help my stencil out a little bit. All right, here we go. And got that right there. Beautiful. I'd love to know if anybody uses Cloud White. Is this like an ink that you grab, or you like have it, but you're not quite sure what the heck to do with it? I would love to know that. Okay, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stamp wheel back, and I'm going to pick this guy up. And now I'm going to come in with my mat. So I have the 9x12, and I love this 9x12 because it gives me a lot of working space. And I'm going to put this guy right in the middle. Now, what I'm looking at, or as you can see, I'm going to bring it up just a little bit and tilt it into the light. So I have this black cardstock, and I just use the Cloud White ink as a way to stamp that outline. And this, of course, we're working with today is the Leaning Lily. And the Leaning Lily is the Build a Garden for June. Oh, haven't used it. Shannon, this is great. I hope you try this technique. And of course, if you're part of our Altenew fan group, we love that because then you can come in and share your ideas. Love seeing what people are able to do with these sets that we have. All right, 2 other whites. Had to leave. Oh no. I know. You know what I'll do? I'll make sure I post it. Okay, Carrie? I'm so sorry, Carrie. All right, so where I'm starting today is I am grabbing a mini ink blending tool. Now I have a couple of mini ink blending tools that I make sure to use for just embossing ink and also for white ink. And I always, this is definitely the white one. So I know that this is my white pigment one. So, oh yeah, that's a great idea. On boss paper, yes. Oh, Mary Lynn, you got to grab this one. This one is fabulous. Okay, all right. So these are my extra little guys. I'm going to put them over on the side. And now I'm going to start to stencil this. What's great about this mat is I can just put this down. This is going to stay. Now, if you feel like, you know, it's not staying, what do I do with this? You actually can clean this up with just some like water, and that will make it sticky again. So it's not sticking quite much. In fact, we're going to do a little bit of that magic right now. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of my stamp cleaner, and I am going to just put this out. I'm almost at the end of this, so that's why I'm kind of pouring just a little bit out. And when I take my microfiber cloth and wipe this down and clean this all up, then what will happen is this is now going to clean this. And then I get my sticky back. And that's the great thing about these sticky mats. It's just all right, here we go. All right, so now we are down and now we are stickier. There we go. All right. All right, so now this Leaning Lily stencil has 4 stencils to it. So I'm going to use my stencil card to explain what the heck's going on. And that's right, Terry, we have to give it dry time. And I like that idea too, because like you said, you can get up and do a little stretch or walk around, or in my case, I'm going to do a little bit of TV magic and show you. So, all right. And so I'm going to go follow this along. Now, I want to eventually end up where I'm going to go through this and use all white. So I'm going to do everything in white right now. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to go and use some ink on top of it. Okay. I know, well, Angelique, that is because of me. Because I am nuts. I am the one, I had to like put all my Barbies back into the, correct place in the correct order. So it was a little bit crazy. But I really try. I do my best to like not use red inks. I do use this a lot. I know you're looking at this like, Amy, do you actually make cards? But I promise I do. And my stamp wheel as well. These are very, very well loved. I just, I try to keep away from red inks as best I can. All right. So again, great thing about the sticky mat, that is, our camera's doing a brief timeout. Oh, thank you for sharing this to Facebook. All right. I think it came back on though, right, Roberta? I think it came back on. So let me know how it's going. Now, my goal here is I have to get this white pigment down because my ink is going to go on top of this pigment ink. And that's how I can get the color. But it's going to look like this really, really cool like color piece. And what's nice, Tony, about this, and that's the reason why I stamped it first, is this is really super easy to layer. And you can see it really took me really no time at all. I'm putting this down. And there are a couple of doodads. And so if these things that are like a little loose or bothering you, come up from the bottom to go up. So you're not kind of swirling around. I'm just doing strokes because I want those to lay down and play nice. Okay. And that's one of the ways I can do that. All right. So I'm going to pick this one up. Now I'm going to go to the second part of the stencil on the same one. So this is still stencil number 1, but you can see how I have this nice white, Oh, good. Thank you, Roberta. And so this is actually easy because you have these like outlines, and these outlines are really super helpful. And you heat emboss and clear powder over the stamped image. Yes, you definitely can do that. And that does help because then you know where the heck those lines are. But you can also, like I said, these little white lines, they're gonna kind of go away after I do all of this. All right, so again, I still have that cloud white. And so my first goal here that I'm doing is I'm just getting down this nice layer of white. What's neat is this effect, when you come over the top of this, once this white is all dry, the the color, when we add actual color to it, it looks like really ethereal and kind of chalky. And so that's why I was titling this one Moody Blooms. And what's cool about this stencil, there's only 4 of them, and they go so fast. They go so super fast. I know, Sue, that's where I'm like, I'm always nervous about that. That's why I don't always sometimes do circles. I just kind of like go right through. All right. And so here's our first, so that's just our flower, right? And again, I got white, and I think it even looks cool on like this. And I do tend to, because this is pigment ink, I am trying to wipe them off in between. And it's also because I know I'm going to come in with some other ink. Next. All right, so that's our first stencil. Now I'm going to move on to our second stencil. And again, these are easy to line up because you have these etchings, which is really cool. But that looks cool too, doesn't it? It's really cool. So if you love like that black and white card look, like black and white, so cool. I feel like this is like 1980s Asian decor with black lacquer, like black lacquer furniture. That's kind of what I was going for a little bit, guys. I don't know why I'm channeling the 80s so much lately. Not quite sure. Oh, but the white on the black is cool. And then if you had some gold accents, like that's pretty cool. And you can imagine this, like imagine this on a beautiful dark green. Imagine this on brown or a navy. I really think that this is just a really neat technique. And it also stretches your cardstocks, because a lot of times we think about, oh, here's Sadie. We think about dark cardstocks and you just think about it as an accent, or you're just die cutting it for pieces. But this is really a cool way that you can stretch your cardstocks, because now you can ink on them. Okay. Now this down here are these other little pieces. I'm also going to do them because I want them to be white, because I want to make those a little bit on the darker side. But I'm gonna leave those off for now, just so you can kind of see it. Oh my gosh, in pink. I do too. I have to say that these are, this one in particular, this Leaning Lily, is really easy to do. All right, Sadie is inspecting my work. I hope she's finding it to be satisfactory. All right, Sadie, I got to put down my third layer. So again, these are only 4, excuse me. These are only 4 stencils. So they're actually relatively easy to do. And again, I can put those right over there, but yeah, it looks cool. And again, if you're just joining us, please share this live while we're live. We're about halfway through, or almost. And you can be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. Sorry, Sadie, we are not biting stencils today. No, thank you. No, thank you. There we go. I got to say, I've never ever tried to line up a stencil while a cat was biting it. This is a new one. Thank you guys for joining me on this adventure. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. And I think we're close enough. What do you think, Sadie? Right there? Does that look good? She's my boss today. All right, so I'm coming back in with Cloud White. So now I'm doing the leaves and these little stamens up here. And again, I'm just trying to get this color down. Now, pigment ink does take a while to dry. So what you can do with this is you can just set it and forget it, put it away, do it for a night, do a couple of these, and then just put them away for a day. You could hit this with your heat tool, and in order to get it to dry a little bit faster, you could have your cat sit on it. I don't know. But you could do that, and that way it's going to, it's going to be ready to go. So I cannot take and put dye ink on this right now because the pigment ink is too wet, and it's just not really going to work yet. So, all right. And again, I'm just kind of cleaning off and wiping off. I'm doing it off screen, but that way you can kind of see. I know, Nisa, I don't know, man. This cat helper, I'm not so sure on this one. I swear. Do your cat, Kim, I've never had her like eat the stencil. She has been a little bit starting to get obsessed with this sticky mat though. So I gotta say, it's a little crazy. Oh, thanks, Terry. Orange Ginger. She is a character. I gotta tell you that one. Oh my gosh. All right, so now I'm gonna come on, and this is just, again, I'm getting these other little sections and these other sections of leaves. So I'm just gonna put this down, but this is a very quick stencil. I kind of like quick stencils. I do like to play around with my stencil brushes. And of course, I'm using a mini stencil brush right now. But I like to add, you know, some techniques and a little bit of depth and shading as I go along. All right, so here we go. So this is stencil number 4, and this is the last stencil in the bunch here for Leaning Lily. And again, this is the Build a Garden for June. So if you are a part of our subscription program, this you already have, or it's coming your way. If not, you're like, oh my gosh, how do I get this? This will be in the shop in June. And it's really so super nice. This one's really great. But you can also try this technique with any Build a Garden that we have or any stencil that you have, and try this on some black. All right, so I got one last little section here. And again, my goal here is I just want to put this white down so I can add some ink onto it later. All right, this one, you really have to use the etchings to get it to sit right where you want it to sit. All right, there we go. And this is my last one here. Chew on the plastic sleeves for my set. Oh my gosh, Laura, that is funny. I gotta say, I don't know about her. I don't know if Sadie is a great boss, but she definitely is bossy. I have 2 boy cats, and she just terrorizes them in a fun way. They're not like, you know, like freaking out of each other, but she definitely does. No, you can definitely, Kristen, you can buy this as a single purchase. It just won't be available in the shop until June. So as part of like, it's like a little bit of a benefit to the subscribers is you actually get any of the subscriptions that we have, you get them a month ahead of time that they're available, and you get them at a discount. And that's the cool thing. And I know Han is behind the badge today. Han, you would totally like say the subscription is the way to go. I love it. It's nice because you get a lot of cool sets. And there's so many neat subscriptions that we have. All right, so here is our flower. So I just want to point, I know you're like, yay, this is so cool. It's white and black, woohoo. So like I said before, I can't really do anything with this right now because it is still wet. So this cloud white ink that I put on the black paper, this is still very wet. So with the magic of television, I have another one. So you can see, I did this one last night. And so it's still, in fact, in some ways, I think it's like even brighter white. I started to kind of play around with some colors, but I'm going to show you where we are. So my next step is what I'm going to be doing is now we're going to add color to this. And it's going to be so neat because of the fact that it's going to have this like chalky underpinning or underpainting, which is really, really super cool. But I'd say even it's neat as like white on black. It's really neat. You got your first cat a few days ago. Oh my gosh. Sikshan. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Spring. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Ziji. That's so cute. You got to tell me what color she is. Oh, that's awesome. And Terry, I agree with you. I love the subscriptions. There's so many fabulous ones, and they're great. And this one's Leaning Lily, and like I said, this one is for June. So this one's coming out in June. All right. So now I don't need my cloud white anymore. So I'm going to put this to the side. And what I have here is I've already put that cloud white on to my black cardstock. Oh, Laura, I hope you try this. It's so cool. And wait till you see my background. I'm going to stencil through this, and then we're going to put a card together. Just wait. Just hold on. It's going to be super cool. So I was thinking about lily colors, and I still wanted to keep it a little spring and kind of like, there's a lot of black going on, and you're going to see a lot of gold in just a moment. So I wanted to use pinks and reds that had like a warm, cold undertone. And so I'm pulling out Coral Berry. And I also pulled out Raspberry Sunset. And these I'm going to kind of play with. Now, I do have blush. And you don't necessarily need to do the blush. I'm going to put the blush on first. And then I'm going to add in these colors just as like highlights and to deepen what I'm doing. I have Cosmic Berry in the wings, which I may bring out, but we'll see how it goes as we move along. And your June Craft Your Life kit. Oh my gosh, it's ocean theme. Yes, you're going to love it, Carrie. Oh, so cool. All right, so I'm going to bring back my stencil number 1 again. So this is coming back. And this is really kind of your choice on brushes that you want to do. So again, I already have this white. This has been dried. And this is, if you're just joining us, this is the Leaning Lily. So I'm just going to put my stencil 1 back in again. Now with this stencil, it's a little bit more of a simple there is layers to it, but it's a little bit more of a simple coloring stencil. But because you have these nice spaces, you really have an opportunity to like really get a nice blend on the colors. So I'm going to start by actually bringing out my small blending brush. And with this, I'm just going to take blush and I'm going to put it all over these petals. All right, so I'm just going to grab this, let me move these out of the side. And so I'm just going to focus on the blush and I'm just going to get this color down. Now, blush is really light. This is a very light color. All I'm doing here is just adding in color over that white. And I'm putting this all over where I want it to go. Okay. So if I pull this up, you're going to be like, it's expensive. But just trust me, it's going to be good. Oh, 11-month-old Bengal. Oh my gosh. That is cool. That's a lot of work. Bengals are a lot of work. They need so much energy. She must be like, running crazy. All right, now I'm going to come in with Coral Berry. Wait till she gets to your stamp stuff. Oh. So I'm going to come in with Coral Berry. I'm going to start at the base. And now you can start to see this is going to be cool. And I'm going to come into the middle. I'm going to try to keep the center a little bit clear, but I'm coming up. And notice I'm not swirling. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just kind of bringing that color down. And I'm even bringing in the color. I'm just going to move this right over on the stencil and come right in. And again, if any of these little tiddly bits, they're like in the way, this is where this perfect picker comes in. And just as a reminder, you have these sides. I love this fact of it is that it's gold and it's also white. And so that way I know which side I get because I always choose the wrong side. And so now I know I have the side here and I can just keep this down, this little section, and then I can come in and I can really add in what I want. So if I just keep this guy down and I can just add in. What I really try to do when I have these little tiddly bits is just go with it. So I kind of flow with it, and that's how I can get that ink down. And I'm being pretty generous here. And these are, the mini blending tools are great for this, but even better if you really want to get that controlled into a location is to use these little micros. And of course, there's two sizes with the micros. But this is going to give me even more control and let this really shine where I want to put it in. And these are really great for getting that depth of color where you want it to go. Oh, this looks so cool. Now, this is Coral Berry. I'm going to actually touch this up with a little bit of this Raspberry Sunset. And the Raspberry Sunset is going to be great. I know you still open the wrong side. I'm with Angelique. I try to. I'm like, at least it gives me a 50-50 shot, by having this. So that's kind of my total thought on it. At least I got it a little bit. All right, just coming in right on these edges. I don't want to go too much because I want to make sure that that's there. And when I pull this up, you'll be able to see kind of this color and what it looks like on the white pigment ink. And again, this is floating right on top of it, but it's going to give this really neat little kind of glow to it. All right, guys ready? I know what you're like, oh, it looks like you did red over there. Great. But trust me, it's going to be cool. Okay, here we go. Hope I put enough on. You can also, look how cool that is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how cool. Look at how cool. Right? Oh, so you also, now you see it, it's like, yay. If you can go back in, you're like, oh my gosh, I want more color. I want more depth. Go back in. That stencil is so easy to put on and so easy to take a look at. So you totally can do that as you come along. All right. So I happen to hate it when my stencils get dirty. So I'm taking a moment just to clean off the red because as we all know, red stains everything. So I'm just taking a moment to clean off my stencil with my microfiber cloth, and then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do the other set of leaves that are right along here. And I'm going to be doing these in the same color. This time I think I'm going to add in that Cosmic Berry just to get it a little bit different. All right, so again, we're going to come in with the blush. So also what I love about these large mats is this thing sticks on there and I don't have to like have a second hand. So I can use my other hand for, I don't know, drinking coffee, waving hello, doing whatever you want. It's all right there. Look at this. I'm one-handed stenciling, folks. One-handed stenciling. All right, coming right in. So that's that blush. And again, the blush is really there just to give us a full base color, just to turn that white into a little bit of pink. Oh, isn't it so cool how it's on black? Oh, hang out with me. We got a lot coming in. All right, so coral berry is coming here, and that's going to be our next color. So I'm going to come in with my mini blending brush. And again, I'm going to start from the base and come up. And I'm also now going to come in from the top. I want to leave a little bit of light, but I also want this color to show up because it is kind of fighting a little bit with the black. So I do want this to be up there. But it's such a cool, like moody kind of a look. So I thought you guys might enjoy this today. So Moody Blooms with the Leaning Lily from the June Build-A-Garden. So neat. All right, I think I might want a little bit more, but I'm going to go for the Raspberry Sunset. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to skip that and just go Cosmic Berry. Going for it. Cosmic Berry is gorgeous. It's a little bit, you know, very much a lime lizard. Sally, that is like the best. That just gave me so many chuckles. You rescued a lizard that your cat Gherkin just brought in. That's awesome. I'm glad the lizard made it, but I know Gherkin had fun. Gherkin, I'm sure, is out there sunning themselves, hanging out, and whatnot on there. I like to do very like similar colors, but not exactly the same when you have leaves, especially for these types of plants like lilies and other monocots where the leaves are right there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take this off for just a second, and I have a lot of ink on the side. I just want to take a clean brush, and I'm just gonna blend this in without touching these sides. It looks a little too wispy for me. There we go. So I'm just blending that up to try to blend it out so it's not quite so stuck. And again, I'm trying to keep a little section of it light. So now when we pull this off, you guys ready? Oh, gosh, it's gorgeous. Oh, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Look at that. Ugh. I think I love it with the Cosmic Berry better. Look at that. Look how gorgeous. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, can't handle it. All right, I got to go back in with a little bit more Cosmic Berry. I'm just going to grab just a tad just from here, and I'm just going to stencil it on because I can't handle how gorgeous that is. Sorry, everybody. I got to go back. Oh, my gosh. It's gorgeous. So I'm just putting a little bit on here. Because I don't want to go overboard. I want to keep the focus on these other leaves, but I just had to put a little bit in. So pretty. Oh my God. Can't handle it. All right. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Moody Blooms. I'm Amy. We have Han behind the badge today, and please share this live while we're live. And I am stenciling the Leaning Lily, which is June's Build-A-Garden, part of our subscription series. And I am on to stencil number 2. And these go really fast, which is really nice because these stencils aren't super, you know, complicated, right? But so stinking pretty. All right, so these are all the little buds. And I'm going to do this petal like the other ones, but I'm going to do these buds slightly different, but kind of close. All right, so first let me bring my blush in. And I'm just going to go blush all over this guy right here. In fact, I think I'm going to go blush everywhere. I'm going blush everywhere, everybody. I want to make these a little bit more orangey, but also pink, like a pink orange. And so I am going to grab some little bit of peach. Let's hit it over here somewhere. Oh, I found it. I found it. Golden honeycomb. All right, so now I'm going to come in with that coral berry. And that is going to be for this guy. I'm going to keep him. In fact, I think I might. Oh, I got another friend, another supervisor. You guys are on it today. That one is Astro. You can see his tail in the end here. He's always making sure everything's going all right. For this, with these little buds, I'm just going to come right up. In fact, let me get. I'm just with this coral berry. This will make sense in just a moment. Thank you, Astro. And get this little guy up at the top. Okay. Now, I am going to grab a little bit of this cosmic berry just for this guy, this petal. And then after this, what we have are the leaves. And then we're done. And that's the kind of the cool thing about this is, again, it's a nice simple stencil. I'm just going to come in with them. All right, now I am going to grab another micro brush. Grab a little bit of this golden honeycomb. And it's like kind of a peachy yellow. And I thought that might be kind of cool with this, but I am going to grab a new brush. I was going to do one. Now, I'm just going to start. I'm not going to start off of here. I'm just going to start right where I'd already put that coral berry. And I'm just going to bring this color up a little bit. And that's just going to give me a little bit of a slight variation on these little guys. Just so they're a little slightly different. So hopefully it looked like a little flame kind of in there. All right, there we go. Okay, you guys ready for reveal number 2? Here we go. Oh, Astro's gorgeous. I always wanted him to be like a model cat, but I don't know how you get your cats into modeling. Oh, how pretty. Oh, gorgeous. All right, so those nice and like really pretty. I probably could go a little bit heavier on the golden honey. No, I think I might. So just so you can see that is. I think I'm going to go a little bit more on that golden yellow. And let me grab, oh yeah. I'm going for it. I'm grabbing some chamomile. No stencil, I'm just kind of just bringing in a little bit of that yellow. Just popping it right on in. And I like this because it's going to look a little like very soft. And again, because you have that white, it really brings this beautiful kind of chalky look to it. So you have that dark pink down at the bottom, and then you have this yellow. This looks really nice. Okay. All right, now we're going to do those leaves. So now we're bringing in stencil 3. All right, so these are the base of these leaves, and we have a little bit of stamen. I kind of like how white this is, so I may keep those. I may not do those stamen up there, but I am going to do the leaves. And I'm going to start these off with a green, and I was looking for a green that was a warm green that had a little bit of brown. So I thought my first color on there, I like the idea. I think I'm going to put marshland down first. And then I'm going to come in with some matcha tea, but I'm going to put in some marshland. And again, this is just my base color, just to kind of frame it out. It's a little bit from that white. And again, if you're just joining us, Han is behind the badge today, Amy, and we are doing Moody Blooms. So this is the Leaning Lily set. And oh my gosh, thank you so much, Nancy. I hope you guys try this. And again, I should have, this is going to, I'll be done in a couple minutes, and then I'm going to put this card together. Wait till you see it, because we're going black on black on black, man. I'm going black on black. All right, so this right here, that was marshland. So again, you have this really nice warm brown, or sorry, like browny green. But I do want it to be a little bright. So I'm grabbing some matcha tea. And matcha tea is really, really pretty. I'm going to grab a mini tool. And that's because I want to put a lot of ink on here. And I'm just wiping off what I had, and I'm coming right in. And I'm trying to stay a little bit to a side just to give it a little bit of depth. I don't want to go exactly everywhere. I like things to have a little bit of a light and a little bit of a dark and some variation. Okay, so that's my matcha tea. And you always can pull this off and check it as you go along, but it's going to be cool. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys do. And again, please share this live while we're live. You'll be enter to win a gift card. And we have Han behind the badge today. I'm so glad you're here, Han. I hope you're having a fabulous day. And I hope it's not raining where you are, but it might be. I don't know. And then I was going to come in with some sea forest, but I got to tell you, I got it. One of my like favorite things is green opal. I'm going to come in with a little green opal because I love green opal. And I'm going to use my number 10. This is my micro. Sea forest is gorgeous, and I'll show you guys. I'll do one of them with sea forest, but I really needed to put in some green opal. And you can go, what's nice is you really can go dark with these colors because you have that white, and it's just going to soften them up a lot. But I think this green opal is going to be gorgeous with this. And again, I was going for some greens that were warm, that had a brown undertone to them. And I'm really trying to put these on here. All right, so let me pull sea forest. I think I'm not going to use sea forest. I'm going to stick with the green opal. That's where I am. I have to say the hardest thing about this technique is you don't always know how much color you're putting on and if it's too much or too light or wherever the heck you are until you really pull it up. And that's why with these stencils that are a little bit on the simpler side, it's a little bit easier because you can, you can just put them right back down again. They're really easy to get on and it's not a big deal. I appreciate that, Alex, that you are dancing to the rhythm of my inking. I appreciate that. But I got to tell you, unfortunately, there's only one more stencil to go. And that is stencil 4. So stencil 4 has 2 pieces where we're going to do these leaves. And then we're also going to get these little guys right here. So first we're going to do these leaves up here. And so let me put this down and I'm going to start over again. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to grab my marshland. So this is coming right back in. So cool. And again, I just want to get color down. So I'm going in, and that's why these small blending brushes are great because they pick up a lot of color and they get them right down. Not a problem. Again, one-handed blending. And then I'm going to come in with some matcha tea, and that is going to be with my mini blending brush. Again, top and bottom, I am putting a lot on. This is really my main color, but I do want to leave a couple of bright spots. It's a little hard with these. That's why the micro brushes really help a lot. All right, I'm going to come in with some of that sea forest just to show you. These are gorgeous, but I'm going to come in with this just a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, we can do this. It's just going to give it a little bit more depth because this has a little bit more brown. And then this will be a little bit different versus the other leaves that I have. All right, just a little top and bottom. And if you're feeling like it's too, sporadic, you can always go in with a super micro, like the little tiny micro, the number 7, and blend that in. But I'll show you when this comes off. And you know what? I don't think I can handle it. I think I got to throw in a little green opal. Woo! My favorite. I had to do it. Sorry, guys. I had to do it. Let's throw in just a tad bit here. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Shh. All right. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Voter Road 97. All right, we've been doing okay. We're doing okay. It will all kind of come out in the wash. All right, so that is off there. Now I got these last 2 little bits and then I'm done. And I do like this. I think I am going to go back and probably do those in yellow. I wasn't sure where I wanted to go, but we're going to keep them here. All right. This one, I'm going to start off again with my marshland, but I'm going to come back in with the sea forest. And I'm going to skip the matcha tea because I don't want these to be as green. I want them to be a little bit brown because they're kind of different because they're like the stems to the buds and they're not leaves per se. All right, so now I'm going to come in with some sea forest and I'm using that number 10 micro blending brush. And I really want it to be kind of darker at the border and a little bit up here at the bottom and then along one edge. I'm just throwing a little bit in there. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Final reveal. I'm going to do one more thing because I just want to get these little guys. Oh, look how pretty. It's gorgeous, right? Green opal. It had to be there. Like, it had to be there. Oh, and I have to say, Laura, these colors, feel free. I know I'm going I'm going a little rogue, like outside of color families. And that's what I really love about Altenew is all of their color families that you can have. But feel free to go rogue and, experiment and mix and match some things. And it's really, really fun thing to do as you're looking at. All right, I'm just going to come in with just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to grab this chamomile just so we can have it in here again. And I'm just going to get some beautiful color down. Nice yellow. So it's not so white. And I'm going to come right in. This is the top of them, the little anthers and the stamen. Little anthers. And we got our pistil, anthers and pistil. And I'm going to come in with a little bit. I'm actually going to come in with this terracotta. That's going to be super fun. And I'm even going to use, probably have some red on here still. And I'm just going to use that and blend that right in. Okay, gorgeous. All right, so that is our flower and that's done. Oh my gosh, hello Tessa from Springfield, Ohio. I'm so glad that you are here. We are talking about, we have Han behind the badge. So glad she's here today. And we are talking about build a garden. And we have just enough time, everybody. I'm so excited that we get to put this card together. Now, when I think black, when I think about accents that go along with that, the first thing I think about is gold. And so I'm like, gosh, does Altenew actually have any gold products? Geez, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yes, of course they do. That is a joke, everybody. And so what I grabbed first was a little bit of gold paper because Altenew has some gorgeous gold paper. And I cut some thin strips. And like I said, I made this a 5x7 card. Oh, I was going to show that to you guys. If you want to do, and if you're like, oh, I love A2 cards. I just want to show you. This is an A2 size card. This guy fits all over it. That guy is all over it. So he's really big. And that's nice to see. And I'm like, that's great, but I wanted to have a little bit more breathing space for him. And I did want to use all of him because you could just use him and just have like a little bit here. How pretty is that? But instead, I'm like, I want all of it. So what I did is I built a 5x7 card. Now my card is in white. So here's my 5x7 card base right here. And then I cut down a panel of black cardstock and I added some antique gold spray. And oh, that's so nice, Angelique. And I thought this was nice for a bigger card too. Then you have a nice sentiment, especially if, with this leaning lily, having these wonderful sentiments of comfort and strength. And, here you're writing a miracle story. All of these wonderful ones. I'm like, I want to have some space to write a little bit, right, Lana? These are really nice. So I already sprayed this with antique gold because I wanted to make sure that it was dry. And I also used Altenew's trellis cover die, which if you don't have that, it's such an amazing staple. And I cut that out. And this is an A2 size panel. And I already added in some shimmer paste. And I did that ahead of time because I wanted to make sure that it was dry by the time I got to you guys. And so I'm going to have this and I'm going to put this over here. Now I'm like, it's missing something. This is a little too big. We're going to cut that down a little bit. And I was like, oh, what would be cool? Let me put in a couple of pieces of gold paper. And I'm going to glue all this down in just a moment, but I just want to mock it up for you. So I'm going to have this gold paper right here, these two little lines. I'm going to add in my trellis. And then I have my gorgeous lily. And it's going to have this bright, beautiful glow on this one. How pretty, right? Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. And so this is where I was like, this would be so cool to have that black effect on it. All right, so now let's go ahead and put all this together. Now you know where we're headed. And again, if you're just joining us, this is the Leaning Lily Build a Garden set. All right, so I'm going to start first just by adding some tape to this. Now, I'm not using foam tape, but I am going to use You know what? I think I'll just put some glue. I think my glue will work here. This is a great piece because I did end up using, I think it was the only black cardstock I had. I used a really heavy black cardstock, and it's probably like 110 pound, but it actually was really nice for all of the inking that I had to do. All right, so here is my panel. I'm going to put this right on there. And I wanted to do this with a little bit of white, just so it had a little bit of a little bit of a frame, just to kind of, again, break up all that black, because this is black on black on black on black. All right, now I'm going to come in with my two little pieces. This Altenew mat, by the way, is fabulous. I love it because it has the A2 like mock-up size already here. It's great, but I'm also going to use these grid lines. And so I'm just going to glue these little guys up really quickly. All right, and I don't need all of them. I just took a piece of the 8.5 by 11 and I just added a little bit on there. I always overglue. Is anybody else like a chronic overgluer? Always an overgluer. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right, so I'm going to line this up. Get that glue off in there. And I kind of want to put these on the side. And I'm just going to start them just by hanging them off. But I want them like right on the edge. So I'm going to put the first one down. And this is why I always make them a little bit longer. So that way I can cut them down, if that makes sense. So I'm using them to make sure that they're straight on both sides, especially when you're doing something like this. It's like super long and thin. So it's great. Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Beverly. We are almost done. I'm so close. Han, how are we doing out there? And I'm going to put these nice and close together. A little bit further apart, but nice and close. A little bit closer together. And that's where I love using glue for this, because you have a little bit of like dry time, so I can sit there and like make decisions on things. But once it's there. So you better love it. Okay, there we go. Grab my microfiber cloth. And I'm just going to come in and right off the paper, even though I got glue on it, I can just wipe that right off. It comes off without an issue. All right, I'm going to grab my little tiny scissors, my Altenew scissors. I love them because everything's got like little flowers on them. And I'm just going to cut this off. I could let it run right through the black or just cut it off at the black, but I'm actually going to cut it off at the white. And I thought that would be neat because it kind of extends the design all the way through. So it looks like little racing stripes, right? And that way it's going off the paper and going into the black. I thought that was neat. All right, so now, again, I already prepped this with some antique gold spray, and I wanted that spray to be light and then heavy over on this side. I'll make a glue sponge. I got to tell you, Miss Stamp. Oh, my God. Oh, late to the party. Hey, hello. Thank you so much. I hope you do get a chance to rewatch this. Now, I want to cut off this edge. It's way too heavy. And I don't need like a total rectangular trellis, right? I just need some sections of this. So I'm going to use my scissors again, but first I just got to kind of cut these edges. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. And I'm going to cut the bottom. Because again, I don't want it to be like perfect. I'm going to distress this just a little bit. Okay, and I'm coming over the edge. Definitely getting rid of that section. All right, and then coming over the top. So now I still have like a rectangle, and I don't want that. So I'm going to chop off some sections. But I'm going to now do it based on here. All right. So I don't want this all the way over to the edge. I'm going to have it a little bit closer to here, but you can see now how it's going to fit where I want it to go. And I want this to not be a perfect looking square. So I'm just going to start to just cut off some sections. And I want it to be rough. I don't want it to be perfect. I'm going to cut some of the bottom off. And this is one of those things that you know it's done when you know it's done. So I'm just going to kind of look and see where I get to. I always try to go for like a perfect square, and I'm like, stop it. Stop trying to get it to be perfectly square. You're just trying to cut off little sections. So I'm just coming in and I'm just cutting off little sections. I don't want this anymore. Let's cut off that section. So now see how that's coming out? And now I'm going to do that just up at the top. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. And let's get rid of you. Over to the side. All right, there we go. So I still have it and it's still there, but it's a little bit less. And then you can, this side's a little heavier. Now I like it that way. You put it up if you want to, put it at an angle, which I kind of like it like that a little bit. And now I'm going to add this guy. So I'm going to line him up with my little line, with my little gold lines. Keep him off just slightly, but he's going to be right there. Oh, that's the trellis. The trellis die is so great, Sue. And now I kind of lost some of my shimmer, right? So I can just come in. This is so easy to do. And I know I'm right over time. So Han, I'm so quick, I promise. I'm just going to grab a little bit of the shimmer paste. And I do use my finger because let's face it, if you're not walking around with ink in your hands, did you really make a card? Huh? Did you really make a card if you're not walking around with ink on your hands? All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of shimmer paste to this. And you can see that gorgeous color and the gorgeous look it gets. And then the fact that we're putting this on black cardstock is really cool. Oh, so neat. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm not going to glue this down, but that's where we're going to end up. This guy goes on here. Now I cut out a couple of pieces of this, so I'm going to bump him up just to give him even more of a little bit of a bump. And I already have a sentiment. I told you I wanted the miracle one. It's a miracle story. And I'm just going to put that, tuck that right into there. And that is our card. And I can add in a couple more things, but how pretty is this? And I love the shimmer paste because it really starts to brighten this up. And I could even put some shimmer paste behind the trellis piece. And I really thought that was cool. So I hope you enjoyed this card today, Han. I hope you're having a fabulous day. And this again is the Leaning Lily die set. And this is a Moody Bloom. So you have this black on black on black. And again, just that power of that cloud white pigment ink. It's so fabulous because you really can start to stretch everything. But I love how the gold glows. The only other thing, if you wanted to, you can add some gold pen just to kind of outline and detail some of the sections within the flower. So another idea too. Oh, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a fabulous day. And I hope you get to see us again. And thank you so much for taking the time to craft your life with Altenew. All right. Bye, everybody.